Did you guys know? Guess what? Today's a magical day.
Not yet. Hold on just a second.
Not yet, not yet. I got this message from Larry this morning.
All right, we are live.
Did you guys hear that Jupiter and Venus are holding hands making out? Look up. Jupiter and Venus. If you guys look out tonight at the sky, we were out last night. Jupiter, the biggest planet in the heavens, is hanging out with Venus, which I'm not going to say the wrong word today. Jupiter and Venus are holding hands. They're kissing. It's not heavy sex, even though it's in Scorpio. It's just petting. And that's why I'm here today, to talk to you about just the romantic energy that everyone's longing for that doesn't require necessarily Venus the penis or Venus the vagina. It just requires your best friends. Because when Venus and Jupiter are traveling together, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. You probably all know this, 300 times the size of Earth, 16 moons going around it. Who's counting? Who went on Jupiter and went 1, 2, 3, 4? No, I guess they did it from Earth. It's crazy. If you think about this stuff for too long, you can get crazy. I was last night on a radio show called Coast to Coast. Any of you seen that radio show? Art Bell used to be on it. I was on for, Carrie, did you see any spike in our attention on our website?
I don't know. I'll have to check it out.
Because I was on last night and I was talking about 2018, what was coming. So if you're interested, Coast to Coast radio show, back to Venus and Jupiter and those words we're not going to say. So the nature of this conversation today is you're all supposed to learn. We're doing these individual planets one by one. We did the sun. How many of you remember this? The sun is your ego, your personality. It determines what you're going to wear today, what time you're going to go to bed. It talks about everything. That would be the sun. The sun is like in astrology. Look, I'm crooked. Why am I crooked? Nobody even told me, Carrie. How can you handle? My Libra rising hates to be crooked. There we go. How's that? Better? Venus doesn't want crooked. Venus wants straight up and clear. Venus and Jupiter traveling together. Romance is all about balancing the heart and the head, right? Isn't that what romance is? Your heart steps over into the center stage. Your mind takes a back seat. Venus comes to get you wherever your Venus is. Here's the answer to the question. So number one, Jupiter and Venus together today, all of you Scorpios, all of us on the planet, it's a great day to feel romance. It's a great day to fall in love. It could be with your best friend. It doesn't matter. It's whatever, wherever you want to go. So next question. The sun was the first one. Then came we did a conversation about Mercury last week. And we talked specifically about the mindset and how your mind can capture you and how important it is that we do a whole class in the level 1 course. We do an entire class just on, you would think the sun in astrology is more important because of whatever sign you are is how you describe yourself. But Mercury in your thought process and where you get stuck in loops and how your mind shuts you down and has negative beliefs and has contracts that you unconsciously make, those are holding you back. So we then are doing Venus today because we're talking now about love on the day that Jupiter and Venus are conjunct. And because Jupiter's 300 times the size of Earth, it's the planet of MSG, I call it. It's the enhancement drug. It's the perfect spice. It makes everything woo! And it's on Venus, which we're going to talk about now, the planet of love. We did first the ego, the sun sign, then we did Mercury, how your mind works and how important that is. Now we're talking about Venus, and Jupiter's there to make it even juicier, because that's what's in the heavens. But Venus describes, the way I like to teach it is, if you imagine that you were in a mall or a shopping area and you could go to any single store you wanted, your Jupiter would tell me where you'd love to hang out. So for example, we'll go through them. If your Jupiter were in Aries, you're going to want to go to the workout place. Like, what can I use? What can I use for tools? What can I use for physical exercise? What can I use to make something strong? What can I go buy myself a truck? Venus in Aries is the part in all of us that loves to initiate and build things and break things and make things and conquest and chase. So it's exercise equipment, it's working out gear, it's yoga mats, anything to do with Venus and Aries. If you have that, you are in or wanting to make things, build things, fix things, study your own ego. Venus and Aries loves to study themselves, but they love love. and they love to get life engaged. So if you have Venus in Aries, it means that you're on fire. Like your emotional body gets all jacked up because Venus and the moon are best friends. Think of Venus, look at the symbol Venus. It's a stick figure. I wish we had one, Carrie. It's literally a stick figure, and it looks like a mirror with the little cross on it, like you could hold the mirror up. Because in every relationship, it just shows you. Like essentially, you're in a relationship, and the best parts of you show up with your partner, and you get to see them reflected back to you. This is Venus. Or the thing you love the most in life, whether it's if it's Aries working out or it's going, this is where you get all jacked up and you're all excited and you see the part of you. It's you're reflecting back to you your taste buds. So Venus is a mirror, and it gives you yourself back. And so it's the doorway to understanding the things that are beautiful in life. So let's talk about Venus and beauty. So it has to do with the love affair you have with things. We're going to go through all 12 signs, but no matter what sign you are, we'll just generalize with Venus. The things that you love the most, the aesthetic in the room, the way that you fall in love. Venus tells us the way you fall in love. It rules the smells, the food, it rules gold, it rules jewelry, it rules money, it rules security. Venus is what makes us feel safe. So even if your Venus is in the wild sign of Aquarius, your relationship with love, with comfort, with beauty is going to be a little eccentric, even with money. If your Venus is in Taurus, which is where it rules, every planet has a sign it loves to be in. So let's continue now around that circle. So first, Venus was in Aries. It tells me that you're an ardent lover. You love to challenge things. You love to chase things. You love to fix things. You're all male. If your Venus is in Taurus, it's an earth sign. That's its natural placement. Venus loves to be in Taurus. That means that you're sweet and you're kind and you love rocks and you love food and you love beauty and you're probably a little rounder than most and you have a real appreciation for sensuality and you love chocolate and you love to save money, cash in your house. Because Venus and Taurus, what do we love? We love rocks, money, gold, things. I had a friend who had Venus and Taurus, and he would put rocks in his garage, like he'd collect rocks. Venus and Gemini, many of you have that are watching this. I have this one. If you take me to a mall, if you take Venus and Taurus in a mall, they're going to go straight to something practical they need to do, and they're going to want to get it on sale, and they're going to want to get the best. Like that's their Venus and Taurus. Venus and Gemini, drop me off in a library, take me to a bookstore, take me to a lecture, take me to the guide, the map where I can see all the different kinds of stores that are in there. Give my mind permission to be able to be variations on a theme. Venus and Gemini, what do I love? I love things that are multiplicity, that are multi-level, that are changing, that have an incredible flirtation to them. I love being able, Venus and Gemini, to be at parties or listen to people talk. I love listening to you talk, but look, it's me today. So Venus and Gemini is the art of relationship, but it's a little fickle. Venus and Cancer, and my best friend has this. They love their home. They love playing house. They love cooking. They love shopping. They go straight to the kitchen supplies or to the sheets and the pillowcases, and they go into Macy's and they look for, I heard Macy's is dying. Made me kind of sad. I love Macy's. It's the part in all of us, Venus and Cancer, who is all about family and security bound and making sure you feel safe. Venus and Leo is the first thing that they would do if they were going shopping is go to the nicest stores with the glitter and the beautiful clothes, and they want to look in the mirror and they want attention and they need attention. And Venus and Leo, your love for money is to spend it. Venus and Cancer is to save it. Venus and Gemini is who cares, they just kind of fly around. Who cares about money? And Venus and Taurus really care. Venus and Leo, someone who really appreciates theater, like they want to go see a play. Leo, what they love. Just think Venus, fill in the sentence like this with Venus. What I love, what I'm attracted to, what my nature of relationship is. That's how you're going to do Venus. It gives us a clue about your partner and how they do relationship. Venus and Virgo. Venus and Virgo is a difficult one because you don't want to be picky when it comes to your heart. You want your mind to step off. You want your heart to open. But if Venus is in Virgo, your mind is right in front of, standing next to your heart going, look at the shoes he's wearing. Oh, he doesn't smell properly. I don't like the way his relationship is with his kid. So they pick. So Venus and Virgo is an analytical. You love to go into accounting books, or you love to do your taxes, or you love to clean. So just think Venus, what I love, and then attach the sign to it. Venus in Libra. I don't know if you guys know this, some of you do. There's 10 planets and there's 12 signs. And each planet goes to a sign, but there's not enough to go around. So the planet Venus rules both Taurus, money, ground, earth, chocolate, food, security, and Libra, art, beauty, the aesthetic, harmony, relationship, romance. Can you see how different but similar they are? Venus in Libra, that means you have a helpless romantic. You're so sweet and you're so kind and you're so wishy-washy. At times, it's really hard for Venus and Libra to make a decision, but not about their art. Venus and Libra has such a strong aesthetic and what they like and don't like. Okay, Venus in Scorpio. This one's a little tricky. You become your love nature. If you were going into a store, what would you like? Venus and Libra goes to the jewelry store and they go read romance novels and they want to learn about science. Venus and Libra love science. Surprise. Venus in Scorpio, sexuality, deep matters, spirituality. They love sex. It's kind of simple. Just plug your penis into your sign, and then that will tell you the kind of love that you appreciate, the way that you romance yourself, your taste buds. Think taste buds. If we went to the planet Venus, what we would see there is everything would be perfectly colored, matched. The shoes would match the socks, which would match the purse, which would match the hat. And then everything would be textured according to the sign that was in. So if Venus was in a water sign, it would be all soft, it would all be sensual. If Venus was an air sign, it would be all intellectual and tight. If Venus was in a earth sign, it would be all perfect details. And if Venus was in a fire sign, it's probably athletic. I mean, that's probably what they're looking for. Okay, next. Venus in Sag. These people just love to travel. They are so excited about any adventure that they can think of. Like Venus in Sag is a cheap date. And they love lots of people. Venus and Sag, I heard one astrologer say once that they need more than one lover. It's hard to stay loyal. Venus and Sag and Venus and Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio is sexually satisfied, they're great. But Venus and Sag or Scorpio is a very large appetite for love and beauty, and they want more. So Venus and Sag is certainly the seeker and the philosopher. And then Venus and Sag is the traveler. Oh my God. These are the people that love to travel. And I would say the downside of Venus and Sag is they have too much appetite. They can be lazy, Venus and Sag. And then Venus and Capricorn, I really love this one. These people have the most expensive taste. Like as soon as you see a chart with Venus and Capricorn, if you say to the person, when you go shopping, do you go to the most expensive things in the store and just pick them up? They're going to go, I can't believe you knew that. That's how it works. Very loyal, very responsible, and not the most emotional personality when it comes to romance. They're much more practical than they are romantic. Venus and Aquarius, these people have a ridiculous appetite for spirituality and the woo-woo stuff. And they are geniuses. Venus and Aquarius is like, they can do so many multiplicity of things. Venus and Aquarius tells me immediately this person's got some level of genius and some level of versatility that we can't track. It's an out there kind of influence. They love everyone. I have a good friend that's staying with me right now, and her enjoyment of friendship, for example, and people and influential people and talking to people. Like it's so easy to drop her off anywhere. And they're so kind, Venus and Aquarius, so kind. But what tops all of them, the exaltation of all Venus's positions, is Venus and Pisces. That's every sign. Remember this? Every planet has a sign it rules. So you know that Venus rules now Taurus and Libra. They happen to share. But where it's the most comfortable, where it's exalted, is in Pisces. And why is it exalted there? Because they just get so off on the refined beauty of music, classical ballet, being in soft environments where the atmosphere is put in place. They have candles and they have incense, and they just know how to create beauty everywhere they go. So Venus in Pisces is exalted. It also can indicate true love in a lifetime. I knew one man who had his yod, it's a funny word, pointing to his Venus in Pisces, and he had his twin soul appear when he was very young, and they're so madly in love. just the sweetest thing to see. Okay, questions, Miss Carrie?
No questions yet. I will let you know.
Okay, so I think part of what you guys are wanting, should I just rift?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I think part of what you guys want to know is that the quality of relationship, like the biggest thing with relationship is you can look at your Venus and its aspects. For example, this is more advanced. If you pay attention to, let's say Venus is squared by Saturn, or let's say Venus is trined by Saturn. So we all know in this class, I assume everybody here is studying or beginning to study, or you're interested. When there's a red line, it's a karmic indicator that you've been challenged this life to be able to learn something. So it can be a square or an opposition, but that's going to create some challenge, some dynamics. If it's a blue line, a short blue line or a long blue line, that means this lifetime you've been given the gift. And if Venus is being trined or sextiled, like I have, it's such a good one. I love this about my chart. I have such a stupid Venus, but one of the nice things about my Venus is I have Venus trining my ascendant. So the ascendant is my soul and it's in Libra, and my Venus is in Gemini, and they're trining. Why? Because they're both in the same element. My Venus is an air sign and my rising sign is an air sign. So it's very easy for me to love. Like I remember one year at a New Year's party in Hawaii, all these young girls dressed up in their best clothes because it was New Year's Eve. And they were walking through the Sheraton. And I just went up to many of them and whispered in their ear, "You're in goddess training and you're looking beautiful and doing really well. You're in goddess training and you're looking beautiful and doing really, really good. I'm so proud of you." Like I pretended I was their mom, and my Venus trining my love. So it's not just personal love. It's the ability you have, in this case, mine's in Gemini, to use my love with words. But if my Venus was in Capricorn, I would be dressed to the nines and I would be appreciated, but I wouldn't be talking about it. So Venus tells us how you're going to love and how you're going to express yourself. And it's not always personal love. But when you look at the aspects to it, first you're going to look at the element. Let's start there. First, look at the element. Is Venus in a water, air, earth, or fire sign? That's how you're going to love. If it's in water, you're a mushy lover who needs a lot of quiet, intimate connection. That's your love language. You can look at your husbands. If your Venus is in air, this person needs to be talked to. That's their love language. If your Venus is in earth, they need gifts. This is the 5 languages of love, if you want to know. Venus and earth sign, give them gifts, help them work with you, do selfless acts of kindness with your earth person. They're going to love you. And if Venus is in fire, go work out with them. Go do energetic things. Go plan a trip with them. That's like their joy. Venus and Leo. We're going to go see a play tonight. Venus and Aries. We're going to go work out. You want to come with me? Venus and Sag. Oh my God, I'm so excited. We're going to study online and learn astrology with Debra. Please, will you do it with me? So Venus is all about the love factor. So before you do anything with the houses, before you do anything, I just want you to isolate as a beginner just the placement of Venus in water, air, earth, or fire. Start there. Then you put it in that sign and it tells you where in the mall you're going to go. Then you add the aspects. Is it strongly aspected or is it negatively aspected? Is it like being supported by some blue lines? Is your Venus like so excited because this lifetime you came in with true love? Or is it being challenged and you're being asked to learn about independence and being alone? And then you look at the house it's in. What house is Venus in? That will give you the arena in your life where it's going to really show up. So the thing about astrology, and anyone that's taking our in level 2 right now, I don't know how many people are in this. Was this Facebook Live open to everybody, Carrie?
Yes, it was.
So if you're in level 2, you're now healthily confused because you're looking at your Venus. Where is it? What's its relationship? And you isolate. The cool thing about Venus, any of these conversations we're having, is you isolate the one planet. You first figure out what element, what sign, how is it aspected, and what house is it in. Those are the 4 flavors. And if I were you as a beginner, this is what I did for years. I would take the astrology by one piece at a time, like a puzzle. Like I would pull out one piece of the puzzle and I would just go, okay, so I have Venus in Gemini. All right, so I know Venus is an air sign. I love to communicate. Duh. Venus is an air sign. I love when my partner talks to me. I love good conversation. Now it's in Gemini. So it's a little fickle. I've got a multiplicity of interests, and my interests go from everything from science fiction to understanding partnerships to understanding politics. I'm fickle. My Venus loves that. Then I put the aspects to it. So I have Venus opposite Saturn. It's not a nice aspect. As my son said when he was really young in an astrology class when we were studying Venus, Mom, why don't you just admit that you don't have good relationship karma? Okay, kid. Well, it was true. Saturn's opposite my Venus. And then lastly, what house is it in? Oh, it's in my 8th house of depth. So I'm not a typical Venus in Gemini. It's in the house of Scorpio. So I want to go deep and study a lot and be psychological. And that's how you found me here today. So that's just one example. What sign? First, what element? Begin as a beginner. It's always refreshing for all of you to start again. Even if you know astrology, my Venus is an air sign. Yes, I am fascinated by thinking. It's in Gemini. I have a multiplicity of interests. It's aspected with an opposition. Uh-oh, my life lesson is screaming at me. And it's trining my ascendant. So at a soul level, boy, do I know love. And then the last one is, what house is it in? Oh, it runs deep and it has a psychological twist to it. So can you see, I'd love to do that for all of you, but you can do it yourself. You can say, where's my Venus? What element, what sign, what aspect, and what house? And isolate it, just like you should have done last week for Mercury. I hope all of you are using these videos to teach yourself, because it's this, I make it so simple. I can make it very complicated and say to you, well, it depends what degree. Is it the early degree of Gemini or late degree of Gemini? Is it intercepted, or is it in, is it in a house where it's being semi-sextiled, or is it being a house where it's got the node close to, like, there's so much confusion we can add to astrology. All I want you to do is, in these classes I'm teaching here, is isolate one planet, pull it out, and then do that with your kid. So my kid has Venus on his sun. He's extremely handsome. When Venus and the sun are conjunct, the sun is his, you learned this in the first class, the sun is their ego, the personality, life-giving force, and Venus is standing right next to it when he was born. Of course he would turn out beautiful. Even if it's not physical beauty, he's so kind and loving. Just like today, if a baby were born today with Jupiter and Venus together, Jupiter is the planet of MSG. It's the enhancement drug. It makes everything delicious. On Venus in Scorpio, baby born today is going to come in with so deliciousness, the yum yum factors all over the sky today, which I felt. I did my meditation this morning. I took a course this weekend and learned about how to clean your energy, which I'd love to teach. I'd love to do Carrie, that would be a really fun thing. How do you circle your energy? How do you run your energy through your body? It's kind of like Tantra for the self. You activate the circuitry from the earth through your legs, through your bottom chakra, then you take it up your throat, down your hands, and you take it out your head, then you blast it with light. And I'm telling you, it made me feel so good. How to have Venus without a penis, first thing in the morning, all by yourself. Just sounded wrong. But you got my point. So if Venus is in Pisces, you'd be a natural meditator. If Venus is in Cancer, you're a natural healer. If Venus is in Aries, you are a natural athlete. If Venus is in Taurus, you're great with money. If Venus is in Gemini, you can write. If Venus is in Cancer, you can cook. If Venus is in Leo, you love your kids. If Venus is in Virgo, you love organizing. It's so natural to you. If Venus is in Libra, you came in with an aesthetic this life. If Venus is in Scorpio, you have a passion, a deep, passionate, quiet self who wants to love intimately. If Venus is in Sag, all you want to think about is, when can I take the next trip or spiritual journey, or at least have a good philosophical conversation. Venus in Capricorn, oh my God, you love work. Venus in Aquarius, this astrology shit just makes your heart sing. You are with me. Move over Venus the penis, move in Venus Aquarius, and now we're talking about spiritual ideas. Venus in Pisces, you're a musician, whether you know it or not. Whether you have music on or whether you play the music, you need aesthetic everywhere. Okay, I just gave you a good fat Venus on a day when Jupiter was conjunct. We didn't even plan that, Carrie.
I know, I love that. Lots of people telling us where their Venus is. And I think you ran through all of them, but we've had a few people who are asking about specifically like Venus with their partner. Can you talk a little bit about how that works?
Oh my God, thank you. So now that you know where your Venus is, you look at your partner and you say to him or her, so your Venus is in a water sign and mine's in air. And I want you to talk to me and you just want me to be quiet. That's a problem, unless we decide I need airtime. and you need to listen to me, and you need quiet time. So simply put, it can be a real deal breaker. Compatibility is the essential ingredient in astrology to discern who's got a healthy relationship, because you can't change your nature, but you can educate yourself what your partner's like, and then say, please let me have a turn. I want to give you your voice. And if your Venus is in Cancer and you just want to play house and stay home, and my Venus is in Gemini and all I want to do is go out and play, we got a problem, NASA. I just learned this new thing about NASA. Should I tell you what it was? It's really funny.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yep.
I wrote it down. Now I can't find it. Now I'm sad. It was an abbreviation for NASA, and it stood for nothing anyone says is accurate or something. Oh, I don't know. Don't listen to me. Here. Oh, I'm going to find it, and then I'm going to not have you here. And oh my God, I'm sad. Okay. God, that makes me sad. I just saw it. I swear I just saw it. Here it is. NASA. Never a straight answer. That was just an off the wall Venus and Gemini moment where I free associated. NASA never gives a straight answer because they're off in space and they're trying to educate us. And the answer is that your Venus has to match your partner's Venus with you at the front helm, taking the lead with your direction, because you can't let Venus have its way without being conscious. That's part of why we're doing these. I'm here to make you conscious of your unconscious, and Venus operates through your impulses of your fascinations. Where's your Venus, Kira? Yours is in Gemini, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's why we love each other.
Yep, totally. We love to talk.
It's never ending interesting. Welcome to it. You guys know the class is starting in February. Let me make an announcement. The Star Community, our new video just got done. It's almost done, Sag. It should be done next few days. The Scorpio video, I just watched it again. The montage, you guys know thestarcommunity.com. Go watch those videos to learn about the flavor of the month. But if you're interested in learning astrology, all you have to do is write to apprenticeship at debrasilvermanastrology.com. So one word, apprenticeship.
No, the best way is to go to the link that I just put in the comments and put in your information there.
And then we'll send them free videos.
Yep, we'll send you videos and we will let you know first when the course opens again.
We'll tell you all about Venus. Secret sauce. Okay, I think we did it, Kira. I'm going to drink to that. What do you think?
I think so too. Thanks everyone for joining us. And next week we'll be back with the conversation on the moon.
I love talking about the moon. And where will the moon be next week? I think it's going to be a new moon. You got to figure that out. We'll figure it out before we see you.